Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So today I am going to make a video where I am going to just throw everything on top of this. Like I've been feeling oil pastels, maybe my Posca markers, maybe some of my handmade collage. I don't know, I'm just kind of feeling it. Now I do really love this piece in terms of its color palette, and it's not only the combination of colors that I'm really loving, but the proportion of colors. And I'm just going to bring this up closer here, just so you can kind of see what's going on. And I don't know if the camera is picking up on all the kind of texture and details. And I really love it, but I'm also like feeling like, hey, I just kind of want to take this to the next level. Now, this is on a children's cardboard book that I think I picked up at the thrift store for like $1. And then I just worked over top of it. I built up my layers, and as you can see, these are just the layers that I've built up on top of it. And you know, now I've built up figures, but I want to take it to the next level. But before I move on, I just wanted to I'll try to keep this brief. I posted a video that I made on, you know, some of my favorite art supplies, and I understand that when you're first starting out, purchasing art supplies, not only can they be daunting, because I mean there's like so many art supplies, and like a lot of times it's like we don't really know what the purpose of something is, and then it can be really pricey. You know, and a lot of people don't have like hundreds of dollars to spend on art supplies, and it's not the cost of one of an item, but it's the cost of, like, you know, if you have to buy like 5 or 10 or whatever. Now I did make a video many months ago, and it's called something like use what you have, start where you are. And I'm going to put a link in the description below, because honestly, I first started art journaling when I was in my mid-teens, and I kind of did it by accident. I was actually journaling, you know, for years, which is just writing like kind of a diary situation. And then it started turning into like art journaling, but I didn't know that art journaling was even a thing, because, you know, there was no internet or anything like that. And I didn't have any money to, you know, go and buy all these art supplies. So I just used like the very, very basics. So don't think that you have to spend a lot of money. You absolutely do not. But anyways, I'm just going to dive right into this situation here. Now I have my Caran d'Ache, and I have these oil pastels, which is it's a European brand, and I actually purchased these from Prague, I think. And this over here is a brand that is a lower grade oil pastel brand. It's made in South Korea, and I really love it for its range of colors. But I also have my Senneliers. So I think I'm just going to kind of mix and match. I don't know. But I'm just like really feeling like, hey, I just want to add some kind of, it's oil pastels can really be the icing on the cake. They can really elevate your piece. So I'm just going to start by like adding some orange here. And I'm just going to really get into the surface here. And the heat from your fingertips are going to melt the oil pastels, and they're going to like really kind of sink into the paper. So I think there's even actually a blender, and I might even have one somewhere, but I never use it. I just prefer using my fingers. But there is an oil pastel blender, and I think there's even a blender for oil sticks. Now, oil sticks and oil pastels are not the same thing. They're completely different. But yeah, blenders are handy, and I do use them when I am drawing with graphite or something like that. But generally, I stay away from blenders. I don't know why. I just prefer my fingers. I don't know. It feels right to me. But there's nothing wrong with blenders, you know, if you want to use them. Now look at that. It just really kind of like takes it to the next level, you know? And another great thing about oil pastels is that you can be so expressive. You know, you can use it kind of like crayons, in the sense of, you know, you've got a lot of control over it because it's kind of like you're drawing or writing or something like that. So it gives you a lot more control. Ooh, now these are senneliers, and oh my god, I absolutely love sennelier. And honestly, you guys, I don't even think I have to use a lot on this page, but I think it's going to like really make a difference. Now, you don't have to blend all of the oil pastels you put on the page. Like sometimes you can just like make marks with it. You know, like sometimes I can just kind of go like so. And see, I'm not blending it. I'm just kind of like making marks with it. So you guys, look at that. I really love that. I just really do. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to get some of my Posca markers here. And I don't know what color. Okay, I think that's a good color right there. And now what I'm going to do is just start bringing in some of these oil pastels onto the figures. And I just want to bring some yellow here. And do you see how it's like the icing on the cake? It's like, it just gives it that, like, I don't know, like that zing, you know? Like an extra kind of it just gives it such depth and luminosity. Now you guys, if you are going to be using oil pastels and if you are worried about it smudging, or like when you close it, if it, you know, gets onto the opposite page, there are things you can do. Like there's fixative that's made especially for oil pastels. I think Sennelier actually does make one, and I think Faber-Castell does as well. Or you can just like use parchment paper. that you use in baking, and you can just cut it, you know, cut a piece and slip it in between your pages, and that way it's going to keep the pages from touching. But honestly, for me, I don't do that. I just I don't care if all the smudges and everything that happens. I just think it adds so much to the page, and I don't really it doesn't bother me. So if that's something you're concerned about, you can do that. So I kind of want this to have a little bit of oomph here. And I think I'm going to bring some of that in here. And it can be subtle, you guys, like what oil pastels add, it can be subtle, or it can be more like, you know, just like in your face type of thing. But oil pastels really do add so much to your page. And now what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Pit. It's a big brush pen, and I'm just gonna like make some lines here. And I don't know, I was thinking like I might add some of my handmade collage, but I don't know. I'm actually really liking just the way it is, but we'll see. So you guys, one of the things I like to do is I try to repeat everything at least 3 times, whether that's a color or a line or you know, if I'm adding collage to the page. Like when you repeat things in an odd number, it makes things more interesting as opposed to an even number. So I added some of this Posca marker in this color over there, so I'm trying to like move my eye around the page. And I want to add some of this red on the cheeks here. Uh-oh, you guys, I think I dragged some of the Pit pen into the oil pastel. That's okay. I wish I hadn't have done that, but you know, these things happen, so and maybe bring some of the red in there. And I'll try not to drag the Pit pen in to the mix here. And I don't know if I want to add other stuff on here, like, you know, my collage, my own handmade collage. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. So you guys, sometimes the way I work is, I'll work on, a page here and then I'll leave it for a month, or, I'll work on this page, I'll leave it, and then I'll go work on something else in this same book or in another book. And, then I'll come back to it. And that helps because, I get a fresh perspective. So sometimes I work like that, but sometimes I work where I just get like completely obsessed, I guess, and just like consumed with a particular journal. And then I will work on it nonstop until it like all comes to like it just all comes together. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no one way of working, like, because something might work for one piece of art or journal or whatever, and then that same way of working may not work for another piece of art. So, I just try to let myself be open to however the piece wants to come out. And it's the same, if I'm painting on a canvas, it's exactly the same thing. Sometimes I can work on something and it will all come together, and then sometimes it just takes time. So that's a great thing about working on a lot of different pieces at one time is, I'm not like so kind of stuck on one thing, and I don't have that like emotional attachment to a piece, which can definitely happen. So I'm really loving the Posca marks over there, and there's a lot about this that I'm really actually, I'm really liking. And now, is it done? I wouldn't say it's done at all. I wouldn't say that, but I feel like it's getting done, And okay, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And, it's not, I don't know if it's done. See, that's the thing. I mean, I guess it could be done. I'm really liking it. I liked it when I started, but I like it way more now. So to me, that's a win. And whether it's done or not, I don't know, because I might feel like it's done right now, and then, I don't know, I'll come back to it a month later and I'm like, oh my God, this is so not done. And then I'll continue working on it. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.